Welcome. It's Morning Motivation with AthinaElaiya. Thank you for joining us. It's always a blessing to have you on our channel, where it's our mission to share a piece of forever together. The look of the week is provided by Jessica's Body Boutique. Lipstick and lip gloss provided by High Maintenance. Welcome, it's Morning Motivation with AthinaElaiya. Thank you for joining us, and I have an awesome guest on the show who is a recording engineer and a music mogul. So welcome, Ryo. Thank you for being here with us today.
Thank you for inviting me. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. You are a recording engineer and a music mogul, but I want to talk about the music mogul first, okay? So I guess my first question is, why are you a music mogul? And what does that mean to you?
A music mogul is a person that is so wrapped up in music, he can't be associated with just one title. They do multiple things in the music and for the better of the income. So let's just say I combine my studio skills with some skills I've learned in the past of throwing events. And I do a lot of events for artists. And that's why I think I'm a music mogul.
And that's why you are a music mogul. Yes. So how did that come about for you? Like, I know you just kind of explained it, but more so I want to ask, when did it come about? Because you really just actually explained the other part, but when did this come about for you? How long have you been doing this?
So I started engineering around 16 years old. And it came from someone showing me how to use the computer. I was real good with computers when I was young. I used to take computers apart completely and put them back together. And I was a little chubby fat kid, and I stayed in the house, and computers were my thing. Computers and video games. And that was my 16-year-old life. I was learning how to engineer from local neighborhood studio owners because my brother, he wanted to start a record label. He was a drug dealer, and he wanted to get out the streets. So his thing was, I'm going to put a studio in the basement. He finished this studio in the basement, and I said, hey, who's going to run this studio? And he's like, you, because you're the only person that even know how to use a computer in this house. And And I got taught by a couple of his friends, a couple studio owners from legendary studios in Brooklyn, Bed-Stuy, and I began my journey. I started recording my cousins first, and then he started signing artists to his label, and I started working with them. And that's really how I got my start with engineering. Now, the next part is my events. Now, my start on events, I met a group of guys that through events, through the music, I met them, they threw parties. And one day they bought their artists. You know, usually back in the days, guys had like always one artist a part of their team. If they were party promoters, they have one guy that raps or sings, that hangs out with them, and they would try to push that artist. Like the old Rockefeller thing or Diddy thing, like Diddy threw parties and he had Biggie and Total and all those people. So that's what the thing was in Brooklyn. So these guys had their artists and they would bring them to my studio and they was like, yo, Ryo, you're pretty popular. I think you should throw a party with us. And I was like, really? Like, you think I can bring people out? They was like, yo, you know the entire rap community in Brooklyn. I'm pretty sure they would come out for you. So we set a date and we got a club and I threw my first event.
That's amazing. And when was that? When was the first event? Because that was a life-changing moment for you, right? So when was that? Like, what year was your very first event? How long ago was that?
It was a long time.
Long time ago. Okay, look, you're timeless. It's okay. We're not gonna.
It was when I was 21. I was able to drink.
That's amazing. That's amazing. That's amazing. Okay, so I want to go into talking about your artist, Mano. Am I saying it correctly?
Yes.
Okay, let's kind of have a little discussion about him and how this got started for you and, why he's a part of your team.
Okay, so Mano's not a part of my
He's not a
team.
part of your team.
So
Okay,
when I was about around 17, I think 17 or 18, I met Mano,
okay.
and Mano was like the hottest rapper in my town at the time, and he had lost his record deal. So when you lose your record deal, it's because the label fails to recoup their money or they fail to put out enough music on you, and they cut their losses. They be like, you know what, we're not gonna invest in this artist anymore. We're gonna just take the loss that we took already, and we're not gonna try to take any more money. So what they do is they'll cut the artist's budget off and basically put the artist back in the streets. Like whatever bills the artist has now, he has to find another way to pay them. So at this time in my life, I was getting a pretty good name for engineering, and my brother seen Mano, which he was fresh out of jail 3 years or 4 years prior to that. He got a record deal almost immediately out of being jail, and then he lost the record deal. So my brother brought Mano to me and says, "Listen, we're gonna record with Mano um, until he gets another budget, but we're gonna do it for free. We're gonna work with him for free." And he's like, "Trust me that this is gonna be more beneficial to us than it is for him."
Okay.
And I trusted my brother's word, and we worked with Mano until he got another record deal. About 2 or 3 years, we made about 3 or 4 projects together, and it was more beneficial to me than if that the missing money that he didn't have to pay was more beneficial to the people that wanted to work with me. More and more people wanted to work with me just because I was working with one of the hottest rappers in my town.
Yeah.
Mano got another record deal, and after that record deal, he worked with T-Pain and Just Blaze and got a platinum plaque.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. So did the music that you all did together, did that ever surface or was that
It was more so like mixtape work because he didn't have a deal back then. There was no like uploading your own music. You had to get it put on platforms or CDs by a label. They had to do it. You could go hand in hand and sell your own mixtape, which a lot of people did, but it wouldn't be an official album. It wouldn't count towards Billboard sales. You had to get distribution from a label. So the work we put out is now on streaming platforms due to you could upload your own music. But before we used to like give it out on mixtapes and sell it on mixtapes and things of that nature.
That's amazing. So I just feel like you're such a business person. What's some advice that you would give someone who's learning about this industry and learning about this game? Because I mean, I feel like you know so much about it. You've been doing it for so long. You're such a professional in it that I feel like you could teach a class on this stuff. And so, we don't got to give it away for free. but what is one piece of advice that you would like leave to someone who may be watching you and is like, I want to do that?
I would tell future engineers to intern. Anybody that wants to be in the music industry, intern. That's one step I skipped, and you miss a lot of relationships when you don't intern. So if you intern a label, they usually take summer interns. You skip that step, and you don't have like relationships to fall on if you lose your job. So do the internship, meet other interns because those people, it's like high school again, right? Where you meet all these people at this surface level and you don't know how big they're gonna get. So everybody interns, we meet interns, we network with the other interns, and then you take that and that's a relationship now you have in the industry where we used to work together we used to go get coffee together for the people at Arista or Sony. So that is a relationship that you always gonna have with these people. You're with them on a ground level. So you never know what doors are going to open for them before they open for you, or vice versa. You'll be able to help those people. You see how hard they work and how dedicated they work, and you'll be able to help and pull them up. That is one step I wish I did. So don't really skip steps. Intern, 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 intern.
Do you feel like you kind of slightly may have had internship working with Mano? Because what I get from that is like working with that and not getting paid. It seems like that was somewhat of an internship. It seems like in some sort of way. Do you agree or no?
Yeah, I kind of sort of because there's nothing that Mano wouldn't do for me at this point. He always gonna remember what I did for him. But I say intern at a label because I only work with one artist. You would have been getting coffee for 10 or 15 artists,
Okay. Okay.
So, and that's building a solid foundation for how hard you worked and how nice you treated people while you were on the bottom level. Um,
Absolutely. Go ahead.
so yeah, just intern, don't skip no steps. I even tell artists that don't skip any steps. Build your foundations because let's just say an artist gets that one hit that goes out the park and everybody loves that song from them. When they try to put out another song and people don't really like it because they didn't have a solid fan base. So don't skip steps. Build that solid fan base until you get that hit. Then you got that hit, and people are like, oh yeah, y'all just getting on to my guy because I've been loved his music before he got that big hit.
Yeah.
But when you just get the big hit out the window, and then you put out more music, and then people don't like it, they're like, we like the other one, we don't like this one. There's no solid foundation for the artist to sit on.
Amazing. Yeah, I like how you gave both perspectives, from the artist perspective and from working with the artist perspective. Like, I really like that. Yeah, that's really big. So, what exactly is the platform studio? Can we talk about that and kind of go into a little bit of details about like what that meant for you? Is that the same studio that happened with your brother? Is that the same thing that it's grown into, or is this separate?
So we're in the platform studio right now, right? This is the blue room. The
I
platform,
be seeing it
the
on
pla-
Instagram sometimes. I be like, "Ooh, what are they do? What are they doing?" Like, it'd be so lit. I'm like, I want to come. When I come to New York, can I come? Can I come? Can I come visit?
yeah, of course, of course.
I'll bring you guys
So,
food.
okay, so the platform Legacy Studio, right, is the new name. It used to be the
Platform
platform.
Legacy Studio. Okay, okay, I like that.
Um, it used to be the platform boutique recording studio, right? Because it was a small boutique type recording studio. It had a small podcast room and a small recording room. And then when in the pandemic, I upgraded everything because business was booming in the pandemic for a lot of studios, a lot of people. Some people didn't make it through that stretch where you had to close down, and some people opened up and hit the ground running because everybody had money to spend and wanted to do things and record from missing, from missing a couple months of not recording. So the Platform Legacy Studio consists of all the recording studios I own. Each room is designed like one of the studios I owned before. So we have the podcast room, which is in black and red, which is modeled after Fully Focused Studio, which was my basement recording school. It's black and red with the same colors. And then we have the blue room, which is where we're in now, which is designed like my studio I had in Times Square, Manhattan, when I was about 23 years old. Uh, that was kind of like my favorite studio because we were like doing parties still, and we would leave from the parties to the studio to the parties. Like we would go back and forth. It's like we had our own apartment in the city, but we didn't really
Yes.
have. We would go home at like 7 in the morning because it'd be the after party at the studio. And then we have the purple room, which consists of a huge booth, and it is modeled after the original platform studio, which was my last recording studio before upgrading. And this studio brought me back to life in the music industry. I was down and out for a little while in my life without any studio. I want to say it was at least from 2014 to 2017. So like a 3-year stretch of not owning a recording studio, working out of other people's studio, having to bring my friends and my clients to other studios to work out of, paying, prices I couldn't control. And, my friends usually feel like Ryo is home, so we're going to follow him. But I know the comfortability of having my own spot for them is a great thing. Because sometimes artists just pull up and they come here and just write, and I don't charge them anything because they're just writing, and I want them to work on their craft because I don't really record artists for money. It's an hourly rate, but it's not what I'm doing for money. It's not the end all be all to paying my bills. I love the art of music. I love making music. I love working with talented artists. So like just to say, if I met a talented artist and I think this person is phenomenal, I usually try to work with him contract based so we don't have to do the money thing so this person can reach his full potential. And yeah, that's the Platform Legacy Studio. And then I gotta get to my events at the platform.
Okay, let's go.
My events at the Platform Studio, I have 3 events that I run out of here.
Okay.
And this is the fun part. This is where we get to hang out. They have a little drink. I provide food, and I invite industry friends that I met on the come up to hang out with us.
Okay, so that's when I need to come.
Yes.
Yeah, because that's a social event. Because I mean, I don't want to just be sitting there while people are recording like I'm not doing anything,
Right.
But so
Right.
yeah. I want to be there.
So the first event I want to explain is called Plug and Play.
Plug and Play. What a good name.
Yes. I invite 2 of my industry friends to come and listen to all the artists that sign up. It costs like $15 to play one song.
Oh wow.
Right? So I invite my industry friends and they'll come and listen to your music. The first time I did this event, I think I had 60 people sign up.
Wow.
And we were here for like 6 hours listening to music.
Wow, so it's like a paid listening party.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like people would pay almost anything to get somebody from the industry to hear their song.
Absolutely.
Right?
It's priceless.
So I'm basically sharing my relationships with you for pennies. What's $15 to have an A&R or someone in marketing listen to your actual record up front and personal while you're sitting there?
And you can get all the reactions you need. Sometimes you don't even need words. Yeah, that's huge. Yeah. And then they also see the expressions and the opinions of other people's music, so they get to like fill out so many different vibes. That's really a great idea. I mean, it's almost like too cheap, but I understand that you love the people and that you love the music and that you're doing it for a bigger purpose. But that's huge.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
That's huge. That's actually like really honorable because, go ahead.
So the Plug and Play happens, and then they get to see the reaction of the industry folks that's sitting here in front of the computer while they're playing it, and then they get to see the reaction of their peers in the room. And that tells you like, yo, is this song it or not? Should I work on this song or not? Sometimes my industry friends will take their Instagram, take their number down, ask them who produced the beat, ask them are they available to meet up. Like, you never know what's gonna happen.
You never know.
So $15 is like, you just probably could come up on $1 million deal for $15 if got the right song.
Absolutely. Man, that's so good. You know what's so cool about these interviews sometimes is like I find out so much information too. Like I never knew about that event, you know what I mean? I would love to actually send you some people just to be honest because I didn't know you were doing that. I did not know that was a thing. I have handfuls of people to send you. Like, okay. I mean, I will obviously like do it in the order that you need it to be done, like the proper, protocol, but yeah.
So it's another event. I got 2 more events I want to explain to you.
Okay.
The next event is called Content Day.
Content Day. Wait, how often are these events, by the way? Like, are they all different? Do they vary or?
So I just started around May, so I'm trying to run through my 3 events within a 2 month process, like a 2 month block. So
Okay.
every 2 months, I get all three of them out. I don't want to put them too close to each other. So
Yeah.
I want to put like 2 or 3 weeks in between each to give people a time to make it or make plans or to be here. Sometimes people feel like, oh, I went last week, so I'm not going this week. No, I want you at every event. So I'll put them 3 weeks apart from each other to make sure
Nice.
you're everyone. Because these artists need all of this, everything I'm providing. Every artist I know, unsigned, needs everything I'm providing.
100%. People, it's actually such a huge opportunity, and like we didn't have opportunities like this back in the day. I mean, and out of all people, I'm over here telling you this. Of course you know. That's why you created it, because there's nothing like that. And especially in New York City, oh my gosh. Like what?
People usually just have shows. Hey, pay $100, sell 10 tickets, and then you can perform for just the other people that paying to perform, which is whack. But I hate that stuff. Um, but let's get back to Content Day. Content Day, which is coming up soon. I got one coming up soon. I don't know when it's gonna air, but I got one coming up this week. Content Day is my favorite event. Content Day is where I book a cameraman, I buy liquor, and I cater food. And we throw a network event where I have someone here doing interviews, 5 minute interviews for the artist, and I have someone recording the music videos in the booth, like an in studio music video. And you're gonna network, and we're gonna talk about content, and it's like $100, and you get 2 pieces of content. You're leaving with free food, free liquor, and you network.
It's amazing.
And everybody loves it. When they get here, they be like, yo, why don't everybody come here? Like, you're leaving with content for your Instagram, which people are struggling with. What should I do on Instagram? How should I promote this song? Well, I'm giving you an interview to talk about this song, and then I'm allowing you to rap the song or sing the song in the booth and recording professionally an in-studio video footage. To get a cameraman in a studio to record a music video is gonna cost you about $300 right there, and I'm only doing it for $100.
Minimally 300,
Right?
especially in New York.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's awesome. Okay. And your third? And your third one?
And my third event was the first event I ever did in a studio. Is the Beat Battle, the Platform Producer Playoff. So it's usually, I don't know how this happened, but the first time I did it was around playoff season, the NBA playoffs. And last time I did it was around the playoffs again. Platform Producer Playoffs, where producers battle head to head for the title. So let's just say I had 10 producers last time. They all play, they go against each other. We pair them up. They go against each other. They play 3 beats, and then we have an industry judge picking which one he liked the most, and also the host. One got beat. That's like my partner with that event. He hosts the event, and we have 2 other guests, which was the winner of whoever wins out of the 3 people. Like they pick either 2 people, they pick, and we got 3 judges, so it won't be even at no point.
Wow. So, how can people find these 3 events to go to? Is this on your website? We're gonna, we'll get to this part at the end where it comes to your handles, but just so people can know right now, like where can people be able to find these 3 events? Because I can just, instead of personally sending them to you, I can just send them to wherever it is for them to sign up, and not bother you with, you know what I mean? Not like, bombard you with all these people and making it like too invasive, but like I can just send them right to where that is. Like, where can people find all 3 of these events to sign up for?
Well, I'm a people's person. You can send people to me.
Okay, okay. I'd love to. I just don't want to bombard you.
They're on my website, reportradio.com. I guess you'll show it at the end. But they're on my website. They're on my Instagram. The link
Okay.
is always in my bio. But you can send people to me.
Okay.
One thing I hate is when artists just drop a link in my DM and say, listen to my music. That's not going to get me to listen to your music.
Absolutely not. Thank you for saying that. Literally, thank you for saying that. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you explain. Can you talk about that for just a moment?
Yes. So if you're trying to contact somebody of any stature in the music industry, do not put, yo, listen to my music with a link. You're better off communicating about something you see as a common interest. Like if I post Kevin Hart's show with Jay-Z, he just had a show with Jay-Z. If I post
Yeah,
that
I
in my
just
story,
watched the whole thing. Of course, like that's what I do. Like I watched it, right?
so that would be a perfect response to what I post. If I post a clip from that, yo, I just watched that, bro. Start up a conversation like that. I think it was really good. What do you think of what Jay-Z said about that part? You think that was true or not? That's how you get somebody to respond to you, not putting a link in their DM.
So really, it's just like that's one of the best pieces of advice. Like I asked you for something earlier, which is so important about the interns. Like don't skip steps. But this is another huge gem. Like huge. Because I think people believe that they work so hard for what they're doing, so they feel like they deserve to be listened to. And it's like, it's not that that's not true, it's just that that tactic does not work. So you are worthy. Your work is great. But at the same time, like that's not going to be an effective way to get the attention or the network or the connection that you want. So like now we're going into marketing and psychology of how to make it work, which is initially what you have to learn about if you want to be really good at what you do, right? So that's huge. So is that something that you learned for yourself, or is that something that you read about, or was that a personal experience where you like kind of made that mistake already? And then you was like, okay, this does not work, or was it something that you learned about? Because I read a lot, so I learn a lot, but I also make a lot of mistakes, so I learn that way too. Like I don't make a lot of mistakes, but the mistakes that I've made, I learn from. So it's like always a give and take for me, but what about you, like specifically when it comes to that? Have you ever sent somebody a link and been like, hey, listen to my stuff, or have you
So
ever done that?
I've done it to people I know.
Okay.
I've learned early though that strangers would rather you start a conversation with them.
Yes.
I've learned since MySpace, right? I used to put party flyers on everybody's page, right? Putting a party flyer on somebody's MySpace page didn't mean they were going to come to your party. But if you hit them up and had a personal conversation,
It works.
a personal invite,
It works.
that increases your chances by like tenfold.
Yeah.
Like, so I've learned early that wasn't the thing to do to strangers. Putting a link in a bio, putting a link in a DM. It's not gonna work. So every time somebody did that to me, I ignored it completely.
Completely.
And it could have been the best song in the world, for all I know. But I'm a human. You have to treat me like a human. I'm not a robot that's gonna just fucking click everything you send me because you sent it.
Yeah.
I don't know you.
It's
Now,
so impersonable. It's just so impersonable. Everybody wants that. Yeah, it's kind of life changing once you really, really understand how to talk to people and connect with people, and like, I love learning about stuff like that. Like I went to school for psychology and fashion marketing, so you're like literally talking my language right now. So I love that, and I also think it's like it's more than just making it a tactic, right? It's more than just being like, I know this works, so I'm gonna do it this way. It's like people can tell when that's fake too, so you can't just do it that way. But you have to really put some love and care into it. Because the thing is, if I put some love and care into you, it's naturally gonna come back to me. And even if it doesn't come back from you, it'll come back in some way, shape, or form. So that's huge for you. Like that's big. So, all right. Our last thing that I really, really want to get into is first, do you have anything else that is currently going on before we talk about something that is in the works? Do you have anything else that's like literally going on right now besides your 3 events that we can talk about real quick? Because I really want to tell people about this new thing that's coming up for you.
Well, I got one little thing I want to add to this, which is not kind of music related, is real estate.
I was gonna bring that up. That is so funny. Because literally every time I'm on your page, on your stories, it's always something about real estate. But I was like, let me not get too far off the subject of music. But yeah, I would love to talk about that because you're always putting something up about real estate. And I'm like, okay, let's go. Yeah.
A lot of artists I've seen run through money. And the thing about real estate is 90% of the people that are millionaires, like multimillionaires, have real estate.
Yeah.
I tell artists all the time that when you get a budget, you get an advance, I'm going to coach you through buying real estate to where you will never go broke again. If an artist that I'm working with gets a budget and listens to me about buying real estate, they'll never go broke. So if they lose their deal or whatever the situation expires, they'll have that real estate, multifamily real estate to fall back on. And I'm doing it myself. So because I can't preach about things that I didn't do.
Yep.
That's just one thing I can't do. I'm not one of those people that talk from my idea. I really talk from experience. I bought my first house in October 2020, and it was a multifamily. And I pay like, I want to say, a third of the mortgage because I have tenants. And real estate it's just a way of wealth now. It's like, it's been a way of wealth, honestly. But
yeah, from the beginning. What do you mean? People were murdered because of land. Like, property and land has always been the number one source, the number one resource for wealth. Period. Yeah, so like, it's amazing that you're guiding the artists that work with you into their own life, into their own path, and not constantly relying on an agency, which is literally what we're coming out of. Like this age, we're literally coming out of the dependency of it. And it's because of people like you who have the ability to teach other people these things, and you do, versus not. You know, there's a lot of people who know this information and they just keep it to themselves. So it's such a huge blessing to have people out there like you who are teaching the artists to be independent and not necessarily an independent artist, an unsigned artist, but you can be signed and do your own stuff. You can be signed and own property. Like, no one owns you. You do not have to stay stuck inside of this box, right? And I think that's what you're teaching. No, I know that's what you're teaching, because that's amazing. And that's another reason I would love to send people your way too, because that's just like, teaching people about wealth is, I mean, I don't know, to me, that's just like everything. Like, the music and everything is passion and love, but if you can't pay your bills, all that passion starts to fade, right? You get stressed and you're done. And then you don't make music no more. You get stressed and you know, can't pay that phone bill, and you're like, and what you gonna do? How are people gonna call you? You know? That's why I can't do anything for 100% free. It's gotta be some type of reciprocation. At least buy me some food. Like, seriously, you know what I mean? Like, and once you get to a point where you're like, I can't do that for free, you know, you have this sense of self-worth because you know that what you're giving to people is important, you know? Look, it needs to be said, okay? I'm super proud of you, period. All right, so last thing, right? So let's talk about Ryo Rumble.
Okay.
And this is a new show that you're starting, right? I cannot wait to get into it. So let's talk about it. And then after that, you can drop your handles, and you know, this was amazing. Okay. This was such a great interview. Like, this was such a great interview. It's so informative. I love stuff like this. I love stuff like this where you're giving the people stuff that they need, like, you know, the meat. I don't eat meat that much, but I'm just saying, you know, you're giving them the meat and not just the sides. It's just like everything.
Right.
So
Right. So Royal Rumble, I've been searching for like, what of myself am I gonna give to the people, right? I was searching like, I try to play the background a lot, behind the scenes. I'm not a talking person on camera. I barely do interviews. I only did this
I'm
interview.
honored. I'm honored. I'm serious though, because I know you don't. So I'm super thankful.
I only did this interview because you worked for me before, and for pennies, you did me a favor, and I feel like I owed you. You
No,
know,
you paid me good. You did not pay me pennies. You
for
did
what I
it.
could, for a runway model, should be $500,000 to get you to come somewhere.
Hey, but it was love, right? It was love. Like it was, yeah, yeah. And it's about
So
connection sometimes, like what you said earlier. It's about, you know, sometimes networking and yeah.
So yeah, so Royal Rumble is gonna be what I'm trying to use to stand out for myself. It's like Rap City in the Basement meets Funk Flex meets a smack battle. Like it's gonna be four artists that don't know each other, not really familiar with each other, getting interviewed at the same time, and then they have to rap on the same beat.
Okay.
And this is going to be on a YouTube platform. So I'm gonna get to show artists in a different light, where they're gonna be probably uncomfortable because they're gonna be next to people that either they never met before or they kind of familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
And they're gonna have to outshine these people because Royal Rumble also has a belt, and the people have to pick who should get this belt.
Ooh, that's cool.
It's gonna premiere around September, maybe
Okay.
end of September. I want to release them as seasons, so it'll be 4 episodes per season, and that should be about 12 artists. I got that idea from like boxing and like WrestleMania, where he's put four wrestlers in a ring at one time and let them go at it. Steel cage matches where they couldn't leave and they had to climb up the bars, and that's when it sparked me. That the idea sparked my head, like, yo, create something gutter and rugged, but also professional.
Mm.
It represents me. That's what I like to do. I like to listen to artists that can spit bars, and I like to hear them talk and hear what they like to do. A lot of artists, you only get the surface. You don't get deep with them. People don't really they don't really give you much. Like you see, okay, they like designer clothes. Okay, they like cars. Okay, they like whatever. They like, you see surface level, like what they put on their Instagram. But you might not know this guy's real good at NBA 2K. You know, you might not know that he is a gym teacher in his day job. You might not know he loves working with the kids. You know, and these interviews are gonna bring that stuff out of them. It's gonna give the people a better connection with them, because music is only 10% of the work.
Yeah.
Everything else is on marketing, personality, how you market yourself, relatability. Drake has been killing because relatability. He's not doing something that can't be done before. He's making music. But the relatability in his music is what captures the people.
Absolutely.
That's how he went. So I'm
Yeah.
trying to make artists more relatable. Give us more. And I'm trying to get more from them. And then I have them rap at the end of the show.
Dope. I know that that's going to be very attractive to guys because that's just like a very guy thing. Like, it's not that women won't like it, but it's a very people in rings and stuff. Like, I can't watch people getting hurt anymore. Like, I used to, even like back in the day, I dated a boxer and I was just like, okay, this might be a little too much for me. Like, this might be made for somebody else because this is a little much for me. So, yeah, I'm a little scared, but I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it.
Well, it's kind of formal. We added table. We're not in a wrestling ring or touching each other and stuff like that. It's formal. It's formal.
I'm
It's
gonna watch
formal.
it no matter what because it's from you, and I'm gonna support you no matter what. As long as people ain't out here breaking each other's necks and stuff, I'm happy. Okay. So, okay. Well, thank you so much. That was so great. That was so great. So drop your handles. I feel like I learned so much. I know y'all did. And the biggest thing I would like to take away is intern. Do not skip steps. That's huge. Yeah. And also, don't just send people your links, you guys. I have to hit on those 2 points, because they're so big. Do not step out. Do not step out there and just expect for people to just want to listen to you. You gotta connect with people, and you gotta be authentic about it, because it works. So, and I know that for a fact. I know that from experience, and so do you. So, you know, you guys grab all this information you're getting here, because it's priceless. So, the look of the week is provided by Jessica's Body Boutique. Lipstick and lip gloss provided by High Maintenance. So drop your handles for me, Ryo.
Recordwithryo.com. Record with Ryo on Instagram. It's the platform's recordings on Facebook.
Okay, nice.
Twitter is Record with Ryo as well. I try to keep everything almost simple. That's another thing. Artists, keep your same handles across all platforms. Make it easy for people to find you. People like, okay, what's that artist's name? His name was Trigger Guns 37 on Twitter, but his rap name is Joe Schmo.
Right.
Dang, I can't put the two together. No, we need to be able to find you on all platforms with the same name.
Make it easy for people.
Yeah.
Make it easy for people. Yeah. People, it's funny because I know I get, at the beginning I was getting made fun of for this long old title that I got, Morning Motivation, with AthinaElaiya, but AthinaElaiya is on all of my handles. So I wanted to attach it to this so that people can put it together. Easy. Yes, it's long, but it works. You guys, don't forget to go to my Instagram, morningmotivation.ae, and don't forget to go to the website so you can see other amazing interviews like this one. And it is Morning Motivation with AthinaElaiya.com. All right? And thank you so much. This was really wonderful for me, and I know everyone else is going to learn so much. So thank you for taking the time and spending some time with me. I appreciate you.